Hi, I'm Deb Potts, and I've got a question for you. Is God calling you to lead a small group Bible study? And do you have excuses for God as to why you can't do that? 21 years ago, that's where I was when somebody first asked me to lead a small group. I had every excuse in the book. Today, I want to share with you just 3 of those excuses and my perspective on them now after 21 years of saying yes to God. The first excuse I had was, I can't lead. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. Is that your excuse? If it is, here's another question for you. Can you learn? I love to learn, and I loved Bible study. And if you're like me, you've been in a number of Bible studies already, and you love to learn. But you know what? I'm going to let you in on a little secret, because the leader gets to learn the most in the Bible study. When you're leading a Bible study, you're not really teaching somebody, you're just facilitating a discussion. You're taking a book or a text that somebody already did the research on and already wrote the information and came up with the discussion questions. All you're doing is facilitating a discussion. You can get training to be a small group leader. Maybe your church offers it. Maybe one of the international Bible studies like BSF or Community Bible Study. You could join them and get trained. Or you could come alongside another Bible study leader in your church and ask them, could I sit in with you? Could I maybe co-lead with you? Could you give me some tips on how to do this? And get your feet wet that way. The second excuse I had was, I'm not perfect enough. I don't know enough about the Bible. I'm no scholar. Is that your excuse? Well, you know what? If you can honestly say to your group, I'm not perfect, they'll be thrilled, because guess what? None of us are. They will love it. If you can be honest and say, you know, I'm not perfect, I'm not a Bible scholar, and if you ask me a question that I don't know the answer to, I'll find out for you. They will love that, and that will set the stage in your small group to have that atmosphere that we can be real with each other. We don't have to fake it when we come together, and your sharing will be much deeper if you can set the stage by being honest that way. The third excuse that I had, and this might be your biggest excuse, I'm too busy, right? We're all busy. But think of it this way. If you gather some women together to do a small group, you can employ each one of them and give them a job. You don't have to do it all. Don't hostess the group as well as lead. Ask somebody else to have it in her home or do it at church, and then you don't have to clean your house. Don't bring food. Get them to do it. Have a sign-up sheet. They all love to bring snacks, and everybody loves to outdo each other bringing food. If there's somebody that likes to pray, ask one of them to do the prayer requests and handle that part of it. And then maybe there's somebody that might be interested in co-leading with you, taking turns leading, just like you might have done with somebody else before you got started. I am so glad that my very first Bible study leader said yes to God, and that she didn't let her excuses stop her. Her name is Debbie. And it was her very first time leading a study, and she knew that God was calling her to do that, but she was scared to death, shaking in her shoes. She asked her friend Ann to come alongside of her and sit in on the group just to give her moral support. And Ann said, okay, I'll do that, but you are going to lead. And so Debbie did it. That was my very first Bible study, and it changed my life. I didn't have a Bible scholar leading me. I had a woman who loved God and wanted to say yes to Him. So, again, is God calling you to lead a small group Bible study? What are your excuses? This is Deb Potts, equipping and encouraging for exceptional life in Christ.